Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon. Today I'm bringing you guys another reading, but this is a specific reading for those divine feminines out there that have divine masculines in karmic relationships tied up with other people. And so this is going to be dedicated to you guys that want to know some specific information on where the head and heart space is at currently with your divine masculine in regards to this connection, what the connection is, who the woman is, what's going on, what her energy is like, what the future may entail for this relationship, if it's going to last, if it's going to end, the dynamics, the karmic lessons, as well as if your divine masculine is still thinking about you, if you're still on his mind, if he still feels connected to the relationship, the connection between the two of you, etc. So there's all kinds of information that we have here. So basically, if this video doesn't apply to you, I would suggest not watching it. I mean, you can if you want to, but if you are on a good path right now with your divine masculine and you're not worried about his karmic relationship, or if you are in fact not even in that situation where your divine masculine isn't even in another karmic relationship, you guys are just separated, this might not be a reading to watch. It could trigger you in some kind of negative way. So this is specifically for those that, you know, want to know about that situation and the future of that situation and all that stuff. Because the reason I say this is because there are a lot of videos that I put up on a regular basis now, and I'm channeling different connections with different sets of twin flames out there. So not every single video that I put up is going to apply to every single subscriber that I have in their situation. So one reading that I do may resonate with you and the other one may not. So just take everything as it resonates and how you feel about it. If you're tuning into one of my readings and right off the bat, it's just like something's just not flowing, something's not working, something feels off, that's your intuition and spirit telling you that maybe those messages are not meant for you. And so you have to trust that. So, but I do appreciate people watching my videos. Of course, I you know, enjoy that. And I enjoy everybody's feedback and all the comments that are very sweet and nice. That's very much appreciated. But I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there that there's no reason for people to feel like every single video that they see that they have to, and I'm not talking about just mine, just anybody's, that they have to apply that information to their situation, because it could sometimes completely not be it just couldn't be what might not be vibrating with their situation. So it's really just about you using your own discretion, your own intuition when you're going through and you're listening to anybody's readings, especially mine, because there's so many different things that I'm putting out there. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. Just felt compelled to give that little disclaimer. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. So we do have an outline today. So we are using a couple of different decks here. I have this for feminine energy. This is all going to be for feminine energy over here. This is going to be for the divine masculine over here. I just needed to separate those two. And then I have some fortune-telling cards. Madame Endor's fortune-telling cards, the answer deck, as well as tea leaf fortune-telling cards. So we're going to pull in some kind of fortune-telling aspects to this, just see how it goes. So I have all the cards spread out. I'm just going to be picking from them today. Very first message here is going to be the divine masculines. And oh, before we get started, also too, if there are some divine masculines watching out there, they can apply this to the divine feminine that they're in a connection with, that's in a karmic relationship as well. That works just the same. But I will be saying and focusing on the divine masculine as the one that is in this karmic relationship. That's just how I'm identifying it and relating with it today. So to get started, what is the current head and heart space of the divine masculine? We're going to pick two cards, but we're just going to do one at a time. All right, I'm feeling it. Ooh, the Five of Cups in its reverse too. Okay, so his current head and heart space. This is an indication here that he's currently not really in a good head and heart space, okay? This is obviously connected to his karmic relationship. This is not his connection with you, but his current head and heart space could be, in fact, related to you as well. So I actually don't want to close that message out. So I'm going to read this, though, first as his connection to his karmic partner. So with it being in its reverse position, with it being a negative card, it does kind of lighten the message. This is about looking at a situation and looking at it as the cups that are half empty or cups that are half full. So there's something that's dissatisfying about this relationship. And so he's basically currently trying to figure it out. When it's in this reverse position for me as a reader, this is an indication here that he is going to be figuring that out. He's going to be figuring out what's working for him and what's not working for him. So if there's some of you that are feeling like this person, your divine masculine, is stuck in a karmic relationship that he just can't get out of, I'm actually seeing for some of you out there that he may come to his own terms on things and make some decisions and realize that his happiness is worth more than what he is being offered right now. Now, connection with you, divine feminines, this message too could be that he's definitely feeling disappointed in some sense, okay? He's looking at a certain situation maybe with you that's a little lopsided. He's looking at the negatives rather than the positives. And so he's really kind of trying to come to terms with all of the way he's feeling about you or looking at you as well. So I'm picking up on both of those messages opening up for the divine masculine. But again, so this is where he's at here. He's figuring that out emotionally, but definitely some disappointment, not a lot of happiness and joy that are popping through when it comes to this connection with this karmic partner of his. This one here also came up reversed, and this is the Ten of Pentacles. So this is all about, you know, happiness and structure and just kind of completion. So this Ten of Pentacles being in its reverse position means that there might be something that he kind of thought that he was going to either have a future with this karmic partner, or that he was really on the right track, and suddenly he's not on the right track. Suddenly things are not coming together. Suddenly he cannot see the future with the two of them. So there's definitely this disappointment that's going on when he is thinking about this karmic relationship, when he's just kind of looking at it and viewing it, and just that's where his head and heart space is at towards that relationship. It's just he's disappointed in some way. He's kind of trying to wrap his head around things because he's realizing it's not really either going to work, or it's just not what he thought he wanted for his future. Very interesting. So what I want to do is I want to draw some cards here, and we will just determine what the messages should be applied to. And I just had some cards that flew off the table. I'm going to have to grab those. But we're just going to concentrate on this. So that is the message there. We have imagination clouds your judgment. So right now he is very much in this state where he's just, his imagination is clouding his judgment. Or his imagination did cloud his judgment when he got involved in this relationship. So some of you divine feminines out there might have been like, ooh, I knew he shouldn't have got involved with her. Why is he with her? What's going on? His imagination just clouded his judgment. Something just was clouding it, and it could just be maybe this person was talking a good game. Maybe this person just really was, you know, externally pleasant, and it's just kind of what drew him in. But his imagination of the relationship was definitely clouded. Let me grab these cards, and I'm not going to take them because I wasn't shuffling these. So we're going to go ahead and move on into the next message here, which the answer deck will see what they have to say. We have two cards that want to fly out, so I'm going to take them. We have a hidden enemy. So right away, this is coming across as a karmic relationship. His karmic partner is basically either somebody that's not good for him, which I think he's probably figuring this out, or this is a hidden enemy as in your connection, meaning that there could be some divine feminines out there that are experiencing some issues with this person. Maybe this karmic partner is in fact reaching out or trying to kind of cut the communication or cut the ties with you and your divine masculine. Could very much be more of like a person that's against you rather than for you. But I'm also seeing that she's a hidden enemy towards the divine masculine, that she's not really who she truly claims to be. She's just not, you know, she's maybe hiding something or lying in some way. This all has to do with forgiveness. You have to forgive your divine masculine for even becoming involved in this situation. It's about forgiving him for not seeing things accurately, forgiving him for not just being completely clear, allowing his judgment to be clouded in some way. There's just definitely something there. He thought that he had certain things figured out, or he thought it was the right path to go down, and apparently it just didn't really turn out to be that way. So it's about having more compassion for your divine masculine than having the blame or I told you so attitude, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take these here because they came out. So we have the month August. So there might be something going on this coming August in 2018. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Chair empty. Someone is leaving your life. That's very interesting. So for some of you, I want to say that the chair empty could mean that in August, this in fact is a relationship, the karmic relationship ends. Okay, because then we have changes in your life. So there's changes that are going to be happening in August for your divine masculine. And then we have depression, anxiety, and worried that someone is against you. So again, we have this hidden enemy that comes up with a vulture. This is about really some kind of force that is not on the up and up involved with your divine masculine. So this karmic partner, that energy could be really tied to your disconnection with him right now. You know, not to blame her for it all, but there's just something that's just definitely working against you, and there's just like a lot of worry and a lot of just mental anguish going on with the divine masculine. But this is also tied to you, so there might be some divine feminines out there that are really experiencing this depression and this anxiety, and they're worried about this hidden enemy. They're worried that their divine masculine isn't going to wake up and smell the coffee. But I definitely see that in August here, a chair is empty. So that means that somebody is going to be leaving someone's life. Now, for some of you, it could be that you in fact let your divine masculine go temporarily, in the sense that you just don't obsess over the situation anymore. You let him go on his merry way. You let him learn his lessons and the things that he needs to do. Or in fact, she leaves him or he leaves her. All of those scenarios are at play there. So that is the opening message on what's going on with your divine masculine when it comes to his head and heart space. Very interesting, the information that has come through so far. So now we're going to move on into her energy, his karmic partner's energy. Okay, so this next position is going to be for the divine masculine's current partner, his current female partner. So we're just going to see where her head and heart space is at this time. So we're using this pile over here because I wanted to separate the energies. So the first message that's coming forward is we've got the Page of Cups here. So this person is definitely offering him something emotional. This is, you know, she wants to partake in him with some way, but this is also coming across as an individual. This could be a water sign person as well. It could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but it doesn't have to fit into that particular category. Sorry. So, but this page though is coming across as somebody who is very emotionally, could be at the brink of just maturity. So they're just not quite there yet. She's not coming across as a queen. She's coming across as a page. This is somebody who could be emotionally manipulative. This could be somebody who is just emotionally playing games, etc. I mean, it doesn't have to all be negative, but I'm just trying to give some of those negative aspects because we clearly see that the connection that the divine masculine is having with her is not really on a positive note. So she's coming across as this Page of Cups, who is somebody who's not emotionally mature enough at this point in her life. Okay, so now we're going to move forward here into another message. Okay. We've got the Emperor here. Okay, interesting. So the Emperor, this is an energy that's coming forth through her. This could be a very dominant type of personality as well. So even though we've got a lot of emotional immaturity here, we have the Emperor coming up that says this person is very much a stable type of energy, in the sense where they're kind of like standing in the way. They are domineering. They are somebody who is maybe ruling over the divine masculine. It doesn't mean the divine masculine is a victim or he can't get out of this situation. That's not what this card is suggesting. It just means that this is an energy that this divine, this person here is holding within her. So the Emperor, I believe, is also connected to Aries, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure it's connected to Aries. And so if the Emperor is about Aries, this could be an Aries woman that he's dealing with as well. So we have a couple of different signs. We have some water signs as well as an Aries energy coming through here. But again, that doesn't have to mean that that's what it is. That's just an additional message if it resonates with anybody out there. So again, this person could be a stable type of person. This person could be very in charge, a manager type, barking orders, etc. So I'm just kind of going through all of those negative traits of the Emperor there. But somebody who's definitely domineering and in charge and sets the rules. And so what I'm seeing so far is that this person may have a lot of control and a lot of authority with the divine masculine. They could be in a situation where they're connected with property or a lease or something like that. And this person may make it very difficult for your divine masculine to get out of that situation. But this person is very crafty and very smart as well. So don't undermine this individual either. So even though there's the emotional immaturity going on here, we definitely have mature in certain situations, as in plans. We have that map that is in front of the Emperor. They know exactly what they want and they're dedicated and they are going to stay solid. They are going to stick with the plan. They're headstrong in that space to where they are going to just kind of do what needs to be done. So if they're not ready to let go of the divine masculine, it may be very difficult for him to part from this person. So now we're going to see what these cards say. The hourglass, time is of the essence. Now, when this comes up, it just means it's a matter of time. It is a matter of time how this connection is either going to resolve itself or dissolve, okay? It's only a matter of time, this connection, is what Spirit is saying there. I have cats walking around in the background. Oh, boy. So these two messages wanted to come through. Reconciliation. Okay, so this reconciliation here could be an indication of you coming back together with your divine masculine. Once he clears this energy, he can come back together in reunion with you and have a reconciliation there. Justice, so justice will be served. This situation will be dealt with. So regardless of whether or not your divine masculine is in a state where he feels very stuck or he feels like he can't really get out of that situation or whatever it may be, the justice will be served. He will, as we saw before, he'll see that his judgment in the situation might have been cloudy, might have been murky. He might not have made the right decision or a correct decision or whatever that may be, a decision that wasn't good for him. But the hammer is about ready to come down in the situation. Justice is going to be served. Things are going to be finalized. Things are going to come to its resolution. And once that happens, like I said, there could be some reconciliation that he reaches out to you after this partnership has dissolved for some of you guys, okay? So those are the messages that are coming through. And now we're going to jump into the next. And I just realized that I didn't do the tea leaf fortune telling cards with that one. I'm not sure why I didn't, so I'm going to go ahead and do them now. What other messages do we have connected to that situation? Chain of events that will affect your life. So this is all about just certain things happening for a certain reason because it's just a chain of events. So once something starts, it's just going to be a chain reaction after that. So we have great personal sorrow. So there might be some great personal sorrow that either she feels towards the situation of it dissolving, or it could be the fact that you're feeling great personal sorrow towards the situation, that they're still in connection with each other and you're just kind of waiting for that to dissolve, whatever that may be. Or it could be your divine masculine feeling that sorrow. This turkey here says somebody is behaving stupidly. So there's definitely a turkey in this situation. Now we've already seen that it is a lot of this bad behavior is coming from the karmic female here, but that doesn't mean that your divine masculine is in the clear. He could be behaving stupidly right now, which is why this situation has even occurred, or it's still occurring, or whatever is happening with that situation. So I just wanted to pull these because I thought it was important that we also get messages here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these aside, and we're going to move into this next, the next question here, which is their connection. These are cards that connect the two of them. So I'm going to draw one for her over here, and I'm also going to draw one for him. Okay, so we have For her over here, we have the Six of Wands as a card of victory. For me, this is an energy of somebody getting what they want, okay? So I feel that this is a very powerful woman in the sense that she's able to draw things to herself. She either is a hard worker or she's manipulative and she's able to basically pull things her way. So she's very victorious, which is what the Six of Wands is. She does a really good job too of basically standing up and looking very, very good. And so she's able to give to those around her. There is some kind of energy coming through about how she may be able to give something or offer something to your divine masculine. And so this is something that's very appealing or was appealing about the relationship to begin with, which is what why he may have even gotten involved. But we've got the moon, which is in reversed here. Okay, so the moon is about darkness. It's about kind of being on that dark side of the moon where we are, it's very enigmatic, where we just have no idea what's going on. We're very confused. We can't see the light. It's just, it could be about deception as well. It could be about just that feeling of just the darkness isn't going to end. I'm lost in this, etc. So it's about deception, and it's about not being clear, clouded judgment, etc. Somebody withholding information, all of those things. It being it's a reverse stage, it just means that this cycle is about ready to end here. Okay, that's what that means for me. It's about ready to end. So whatever they're going through, we already saw that there was a date with some of you guys out there with your divine masculines, that it could very well dissolve in the summer months, or August to be exact, or something that happens between you and your divine masculine during this time. We're going to take this one here, the wolf. Beware who you trust. So I think it's interesting that we have wolves on this card, and we also have the wolf coming here. Beware who you trust. So there definitely is deception here within this relationship with them. You know, I'm definitely feeling that it's more on this karmic female's side here, because she has come across as a very negative, in a negative spot to begin with. Not that the divine masculine is in the clear, but beware who you trust. I feel that she's the wolf. I feel that it creates this moon in reverse. It creates the lies, it creates the deception, it creates all of those things that are being experienced right now. So I do see a lot of divine masculines out there that are in a lot of pain over this, or they're just really tied up in something that they either wish they didn't get involved with in the first place. But the good news is that there's good news, which is exactly what this card is. So there is good news, meaning that there is going to be some kind of news that you get that you can celebrate in regards to the dissolution of this relationship. So that's coming through. We have a couple of cards that came through. Lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. So this is telling you to control your anger when it comes to dealing with the situation. So if she reaches out to you, tries to start something or whatever, it's all about just controlling your anger in the situation or you will be sorry. But this is also whatever's happening between the divine masculine and this female here. Things could get pretty heavy. Things could get pretty, I'm not saying violent, but things could just get to a situation where you need to be careful. You need to control your anger. The finger is coming up because it says it's warning you of a problem, either of now or in the future. So this finger is like that warning to this relationship that somebody is being warned about something. Beware who you trust. There's something that's going on that's not on the up and up. Then we have the ink pot, which is problems that need to be resolved. So there's definitely problems all over this, but we have guaranteed success. And so I like this because guaranteed success, and then we have good news. This means that this is going to resolve eventually. He will be pointed into the right direction. For some of you, you may even be in contact with your divine masculines and are able to maybe help point out something in a very light and positive way, not in an angry way, but as that friend, kind of guiding them out of that darkness that they might feel that they're in right now, especially when dealing with this female and this individual that they just kind of feel like they're all wrapped up in, whatever that is. So the connection between those two is definitely not a positive connection, as you guys can see. So now we're going to jump into the future. Oh no, we're going to jump into the karmic lessons. What is the whole reason that they even came together? Like, what was this for? Why did he have to separate from you in order to be with this woman? Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, karmic lessons that need to be learned. Why did they even have to come together? What is this whole situation even all about? So let's go ahead and take a look. So we're going to dive over here. We're going to get a message from the Divine Masculine first on this one. What is the point? Star in reverse here, okay? So for me, the star has to do with spiritual guidance. It has to be about, or it's about spiritual connections. It's about the soul. It's about the spiritual soul. And so for me, what this card is suggesting is that this was a part of the karmic lesson. I mean, I know the question was, what's the karmic lesson? What was the whole thing for? I really feel it's just for spiritual growth, okay? It's for spiritual understanding and spiritual growth. We have this beautiful star up here that's just kind of like that light bulb that goes off in that aha moment of, oh, okay, I understand what this was for. I understand why I had to go through that. So the fact that it's coming up in its reverse position, though, means that the Divine Masculine may not exactly grasp those concepts right away. It may take some time on his part to understand why he even had to go through this. And it also might take some time for you to understand why he even had to go through this. It might, the knowledge or the just whatever you're guided to believe or just understand about that might take some time, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and see on her part what that's for. Knight of Pentacles, okay? So for me, what this is an indication of is that the Knight of Pentacles is in pursuit of something. So for her, I feel that she was looking at the Divine Masculine at the time when they did come together as maybe somebody that would be stable in her life, somebody that would help deliver in that financial department, or somebody that she could financially give to or take care of, okay? Because this is a knight, it's not a king. So I don't see that she was looking at him as a source of, to be taking care of her or a source of income or stability. I see it more as just like either they could be a team together, a good team, accent each other well, or that she could in fact deliver something. But there's something just concrete about that for her, that's the lesson that she needed to learn, which is to try to come together, maybe blend your finances together, live with somebody, maybe, you know, project that husband type of fantasy onto this individual, try it on for size, see how it works, imagine having children with this person, etc. So I just feel like for her, it was more of a trying to mold the Divine Masculine maybe into somebody that he either wasn't, or just something that just didn't happen. So what are the what are the karmic lessons? Let's see if we get any more information, if that didn't really answer our question. Serendipity. It says bright new prospects are on the horizon. So basically, when this is just, you know, the karmic lessons are learned, bright new prospects are going to be on the horizon. So it's not like they're just going to wallow in the darkness forever. They're going to be able to move forward, both of them, which is a good thing. Storm, but obviously they have some storms that they have to endure. It's going to take a little bit of time to get through the storms, but that's the whole reason for it. It was supposed to be a stormy connection. It was supposed to be a stormy type of relationship because they had something that they had to learn. She had to kind of learn what she was looking for in a person and in a man and her expectations, and he had a spiritual, more spiritual understanding. That was his karmic lesson to learn, is to just get more spiritually in tune. Then we have the announcement here. So once this thing settles up, once this karmic relationship dissolves, there will be an announcement. And so this could be an indication that your Divine Masculine, in fact, announces this to you. So you will be very aware of when this relationship is over, because he could be coming back to you at that particular time. I know a card already came up about reconciliation. So for some of you, that could be what that means. So now we're going to move on into the next. Okay, so this next position is the future of the karmic connection. So as we can see already, that it looks like it is going to dissolve with time. This isn't a relationship that's really meant to last. So we're going to go ahead and see what the future of this particular couple is, what this situation is, or what the messages are in regards to that. Okay, so what we have is an Ace of Wands. And so there is really not a continuance for this union. So the future doesn't really hold a future. And if there is a future, it's just not going to be something that's flowing. Okay, we don't have a good beginning. So this Ace in reverse is telling me that there's not a beginning, there's not a continuance. So that is an indication on at least your Divine Masculine's end that he will either not want to continue moving forward. Okay, so now we're going to see from her aspect what the future holds. Eight of Pentacles, okay? So the Eight of Pentacles looks to me like she may want to work on this partnership with your Divine Masculine, okay? But I'm not seeing that he actually wants to do the work. So she may want to work things out, but I'm actually not seeing with this connection that she is actually, or that he's going to want to work things out. I'm seeing him actually either saying no, or it's just not gonna flow moving forward. And there might be some things that she needs to change that she will say, I'll change. Because that Eight of Pentacles is all about, you know, working on something. Could be working on herself. And it's just, he's either not having it or it's just still not what he wants. We had two cards that came up here. We have the Gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. So the thing is, there is a gate for a reason, okay? There is a gate here that is blocking this future of this relationship from moving forward. So that is very, very strong, that the future is not something that is going to be a positive thing for this couple moving forward. Triumph over adversity. So this is the Knight. So I believe this is the Divine Masculine here that is going to charge forward. So there might be a delay in this ending here is what I'm seeing, because we have a barrier keeps you from your goal. Your goal may be to leave the relationship, and maybe there's a gate that's in the way. But I do see him being the Knight, and I feel that's why two cards came out instead of just one, because this Knight charges through that gate. He doesn't care that there's a barrier. He gets through it anyways. So if that's any indications to any of you Divine Feminines out there, that is he going to have the strength to leave that situation? Yes. Whoa, we have a card just flew out. It is the Challenge card. So this just means that there's definitely mountains to climb. There's definitely hills to conquer in this situation. It will be a bit of a challenge, but he's going to get there. So keep that positive energy and that supportive energy. Keep sending him light. Really help boost him in that department so he can get out of this situation. Okay, we had a few cards that popped out on this one. This is a little too much for me, so I'm not going to take those. I'm not guided to take them. I'm only going to take this one here. Strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Woo! Okay, so we have definitely the future for them is we have a lot of passion. It could be love or hate. Obviously, with a lot of negative things that have come up so far. I'm not saying there's no form of love there. There could be some care there. It could be a hard thing to get past, but there's definitely a lot of passion in this situation. This could just be that indication that that is also the connection, is that maybe there's just passion, and maybe it's just like either a physical thing or attraction, and there's just really nothing that's of any depth or anything that's lasting. But whatever this is, it turns quickly to hate during this separation or this breakup, or him not wanting to work things out. Suddenly the claws come out and he finally sees her for who she really is. I think he's already starting to see that, but it's just even more of an indication that that's happening. So now we're moving on into the next position. So this position is, does your Divine Masculine still think about you? Does he still care? Are you something that is in the forefront of his mind? Does he feel connected to you? Just all of those things. So we're going to go ahead and choose some cards, and we're going to go with the messages here. Oh, interesting. We have the Queen of Cups, but she's in reversed. So what this tells me is that, yes, you are very much still something that he thinks about, but are you at the forefront of his, wow, are you at the forefront of his mind? The fact that this is coming up in its reverse position, I'm seeing the answer is probably more of a no. It doesn't mean he never thinks of you, but you're not in the forefront of his mind. He's got this shit that he's dealing with right now, okay? He may think about you from time to time. That Five of Cups that came up for the very first card that depicted him, I believe that some of that regret and sadness had to do with you, because it's something that obviously he either gave up or he left that relationship with you to be in this one. So there is definitely some sort of sadness that's connected to you, and this is coming up with as the Queen of Cups. So this is somebody he does have an emotional connection with, but there could be too much hurt, too much pain. And so when he thinks about you, he could think in terms of that you either wouldn't have him back if he tried to come back to you, that you may not have him back. So there's that worry and that sadness that's tied up within you, which is why I think that's coming up reversed as well. And this could be an indication here if any of you are Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Doesn't mean you have to be, but you're coming up as a very watery woman for him. But this is also somebody that he feels that connection with. But this is something too that your intuition towards the situation could be a little obscured because you might have a lot of too much emotional stuff going on. So you can't be very clear when you're thinking about him or when you're trying to tap into that situation. Could just be too emotional. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a great card because this tells me that he is going to return. The Knight of Wands charges towards something that he wants. So I'm really feeling that as far as does he think about you? I didn't necessarily ask the question, is he going to come back? But I feel that, you know what, with this eagle and this being the Knight of Wands, which is a very fiery energy, somebody who charges forth ferociously, basically just, has a lot of courage to move forward with something, definitely pursues us in a very heavy manner. It's a very strong energy. That is an indication to me that that person will make an emergence back into your life. So they will reemerge at some point. Yes. Do they think about you? Yes. Is it in that sense where it's like every day they're missing you? Maybe not, but there is definitely that connection there. Oh, there's two hands that flew out here. The Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. So fate is very much at hand here on how either the two of you will come back together or how he feels or what's going on here. Let your intentions be known. Wow. So like I said, this card here, it's like this person comes back and they pursue, they're determined to do something. I do feel that their intentions, they will make their intentions known at that time when they reemerge back into your life. And the Hand of Fate. So fate has a lot to do with this. Fate is going to have to be about divine timing and all of those things. So it has something to do with it there. Taking this one, destruction. Okay, so the destruction card comes up because there's been a lot that's been destroyed within this connection here. There could be feelings destroyed, heart feels destroyed, all those things, which is why maybe the divine feminine is coming up in its reverse position. Maybe she would not be ready if he decided to come back. Maybe she would be too hurt. Maybe things are just too broken in order to fix. That's just, of course, an illusion. Anything can be fixed, but that is just maybe how the divine feminine is looking at the situation, to where just too much has happened, too much water under the bridge, you can't forgive them. It's going to be hard for you to do. So that's that destructive energy that's coming through there. But the intentions will be, he will let you know what his intentions are. Well, I just had a bunch of cards that fell out. I'm actually going to take these and this one. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. So when this card comes up for me, this means that there's a sexual connection. This just means also too that you could be very sexually attracted, or vice versa, or it's flowing on both streets, to your divine masculine here and him to you. So this right here is this indication of if there was in fact, somebody thinking about somebody or wanting to reach out and pursue someone, it could very well be about sex at first, or, it's telling you not to place too much concern on the sexual matters, meaning that if you were to come back with your divine masculine, if there is no sex, if you guys are not connecting in a physical way, don't place too much concern on that. So I'm getting both messages to where it could be a positive or a negative. Actually, no, there's no positive with that at all. It's all in its negative sense, challenging, because either that's what the divine masculine wants to partake in, or maybe she does too, because they miss that connection. So they come together and they have the sex, and maybe there's a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of healing that needs to be done, and it's kind of premature, okay? But that could be something that's drawing them back together, is because they miss each other so much that they come back together and have that physical union, and it turns out to, maybe be not an emotionally healing experience for the divine feminine, because there's so much that needs to be worked out. But what I'm saying too is that there might be some people that come back together, or they're in separation obviously right now, and so it's like that physical touch, that physical connection between the two is just very, very hard for some of you. It feels very, very hard. So I believe that's why that's coming up, is saying don't place too much concern on him being physically in front of you, or just connecting with him in a physical way. This right here is the Fox. Shrewdness and resourcefulness. So being the fox, okay, there is some sort of shrewdness around here. This could be your divine masculine coming through in this very shrewd-like matter. Really, the Queen or the Knight of Wands is a card, and an energy where it's like real quick. He comes in, but he doesn't stay. So again, this could be a message for some of you divine feminines out there to, if that's not something that you want to go through, again, don't allow this to be a pit stop. So what I'm getting here is that this is actually you needing to let your intentions be known. You needing to set the boundaries and not allow the divine masculine, once he leaves that karmic situation, or let's just say he doesn't leave that karmic situation and he wants to have a little rendezvous while he's still in that situation. This is telling you to let your intentions be known, because he could be in this very foxy type of behavior, okay? And it could very well end up being very destructive for you. Okay, so there's some situation that's in the balance that requires careful handling. So this will all be, you know, things need to be handled very carefully when they come back. When he comes back into the picture, when he comes back into your situation, you need to be very careful with the way that you're handling things. Don't jump passionately into the physical is what I'm really getting, because it can be very destructive, okay? But the candle is about you will be shown the way. It's the same thing with the hand of fate. It's about being shown the way, being divinely guided to make those decisions here, all right? But we have changes for the better. So this change, this change that is occurring within the relationship could be something that's for the better. So it doesn't have to be all negative. It's just there's a few messages that are coming through, and I feel very compelled to say that that's what it is, all right? And then we have the good news card. So this is the second time that the good news came up. So if you guys are waiting on some kind of news about something, it could be that this news is good indeed, if you've been waiting on that news, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and move forward into what you can do as a divine feminine in the meantime while this karmic relationship is playing out, while you're kind of waiting for your divine masculine to get things figured out or end things with her. Okay, so what the divine feminine can do in the meantime while she's waiting on this to either resolve itself. We're going to go ahead and choose from these cards over here, and I want to choose 5 messages, because I don't want to go into these cards right here. Okay, those are more of like just kind of telling us what's happening, not what you should do. And so we're not using reversals either. We've got the 10 of Swords here. And so the 10 of, well, just when I say that, you know, what I'm saying is that, guess, I just wanted these to be more positive messages. And as a matter of fact, the 10 of Swords is positive when it's in its reverse position, because in its upright position, it's difficult, okay? So basically, we're just going to read this as it is. This is about being stabbed in the back. This is about feeling defeated, knowing that a situation is over and just walking away from it, because there's nothing more that can be done. You've put enough effort into it. You've put everything that you could. It just didn't work out. Somebody just decided to put those knives in your back and either walk away from you and just kind of leave you for dead. So what you have to do now is you need to pick yourself up. So that's what that message is. It's about picking yourself up. And when the 10 of Swords is reversed for me, that's that indication that you are able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and move forward. Okay, you're not going to struggle with that much longer if that's something that you are struggling with right now. 4 of Swords, this is about taking a time out, pulling away for a little bit, pulling away from the energy of the situation. If you're focusing on it, stalking on social media, trying to see what's going on in their situation, it might be time for you to take a break from it for a little bit of time. Okay, so we need to do exactly what's in this card, which is we need to take a rest. We need to take some time for ourselves. We need to retreat. We need to go within ourselves. We just need to take a freaking break. Knight of Cups. Oh, that's really cute. I just love these cards so much. So the Knight of Cups is obviously charging forward in a state of gratitude, in a state of love. Love is still in our cup. So that we have this cup and all of these hearts are floating out because we are exuding so much love. So I don't feel that this is somebody new that's coming in. It could be for some of you that this is another love offer. This could be, again, your divine masculine coming through. But when we're asking what you can do in the meantime while you're waiting, this is an indication here of basically making sure that your cup is still full of love, that you haven't allowed this experience to ruin you. You haven't allowed this experience to ruin your heart when it comes to love, that your cup is still flowing. Your cup is still available and full of love. So that's a really beautiful thing. Three of Cups is all about community, and it's all about friends and the people that are around you. It's all about coming together with other people in the meantime. It's about coming together with like-minded souls, or just other kindred spirits that are on the same journey as you, or just, in fact, touching out or reaching out to family and friends and just having a really good time and just allowing yourself to be around other people. Yes, it's about pulling away from the situation, but I don't feel that it's a state of solitude. I feel like you actually need to come together with other people so you can experience life and feel positive and feel good. Last message here. Three of Swords. So we do have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, which for me are like the worst cards. These are the worst cards in the deck in the sense of they're so painful. Okay, they're very, very painful because this card is all about heartbreak. And that card is all about just being totally destroyed from the heartbreak. So the fact that you get both of these cards in this last position just really describes how you feel. This is either what has been done to you or how the situation has made you feel or is currently making you feel. So again, rather than focusing on the pain, rather than wallowing in that, it's about pulling away for a while, taking a break from all of it, taking a break from what you're seeing. If you are in fact looking on social media, or you're, spying, or whatever it is that you might be doing, that you're still connecting. Maybe it's even having conversations with people that are connected to the divine masculine. You might need to take a break for a while from having those conversations, or in fact, maybe taking a break from that friend. It's not to punish the friend, but sometimes we got to pull away in order to regain our composure. But it is about coming together with like-minded friends and people that are into just being positive and having a good time and celebrating in some way. So that way this keeps things in a positive light for you, that it doesn't have to destroy you. It doesn't have to destroy that you will never love again. You will love again. And you'll be ready when that love either returns or in fact you go on into another experience. So that's the message on what you can do in the meantime. So now we're going to look into the future of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is no longer about their karmic relationship. Or the karmic relationship. It is about just you, twin flames together. This is the future. So we're going to go ahead and draw some cards from all of these piles here. I want to draw 2 for the divine feminine here. 2 of Pentacles. Look at that. It is the twin flame symbol. I think it's beautiful. Not all of my card decks have this twin flame symbol for the 2 of Pentacles, but I'm glad that this one does, because I think that's a special message for some of you guys out there, that this is a spiritual connection. This is an infant connection that cannot be broken regardless of who he's with or what he's doing. So it's about holding on to that faith. Holding on to that faith that is what the future entails for the both of you, is that twin flame connection. So that's just beautiful. Loving it. Hangman. This is all about just for the time being. You have to make some sacrifices. This journey is definitely, it's going to feel like a sacrifice because you're not going to have in front of you exactly what you're wanting at that exact time and space. You will have to wait for this to come together. You will have to wait for your divine masculine to get things figured out. You will have to wait for him to conquer certain lessons and fears. You will have to wait, is what that card is saying. It's just a sacrifice that needs to be made in order for this connection to come together. So I'm going to put those over there because we're done with these piles here. Now we're going to draw for the divine masculine. So here we have the 5 of Pentacles, but it's in a reverse position. So this is great. So the 5 of Pentacles is all about a card where we feel like we are left out in the cold. We feel homeless. We feel like just nothing is working in our lives. We feel spiritually, emotionally, physically, just totally out of sorts. We just don't feel like any area of our life is working out. When this is in its reverse position for me as a reader, this is an indication that that is coming to a close. He is going to be pushing past these issues. So anything that he's been holding at bay of like coming back home or belonging or holding you at bay because he's just having a hard time letting that kind of energy in, which is that pure love energy, because he's been spending time in this right here, which is like that feeling of not being at home, feeling like an outsider. He wants to come home. So that's what I feel when this is in its reverse position. He's coming home. He's learning the lessons. He's realizing what he wants. So that's very positive. Page of Swords. Okay. So the Page of Swords here, it's not like the Knight, so it's not like he's charging forward, but the Page of Swords is all about making some sort of offer, making some sort of communication. So I definitely see that in the future of this union, he will be making communication. So it could have came on your side, but it didn't. It came on his. And I think it's come up twice that he will reach out and make communication, especially when he wraps things up with this karmic relationship. He will reach out. In the meantime, too, he may even be looking at you on social media. So, you know, it's so funny that we say that now, social media. It's like that just didn't, it's not like it didn't exist 10 years ago. Maybe it did, but it's just like in my day and time, we didn't have that as a form of, you know, spying or communication. It was more about, you know, detectives and hiring somebody and all that stuff. But now we can do all the spying we want, especially if somebody has somewhat of a public profile. Oh, we had some cards that popped out over here, so we're going to take those. The Sun, beautiful. Your perseverance is rewarded. So your perseverance in this journey, the sacrifices that you have made will be rewarded. So the Sun is just that beautiful reminder of that your hard work will pay off here. And the Mystic Oracle, the Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. So for some of you, it's like right now, your spiritual abilities, your psychic abilities, just all those energy abilities to be able to heal this situation, to lend a helping hand, to lend that love. All of these are being enhanced right now. So really pay attention to the energy that you're sending out. You know, I think I say this like in every reading, making sure it's of love and light. Oh, communication. We definitely have communication coming here in the future for the two of you guys. Definitely going to happen. So if some of you wanted that confirmation that that's going to happen, the fact that it comes up with the communicator card and then the communication card, love it. That's why I love using all of these decks, because they're similar messages. And so when they come out together, it's just that double confirmation here. All right, so we're just looking for one more message. It could be in the form of several cards that pop out, but we are going to check it out. What is the last message that we have to close up this reading? Okay, so we just have one. Interesting. This one here. So this is about someone leaving someone's life. This will happen. Once this relationship is over here, once this relationship is over, that's when he's going to make that communication for some of you, okay? It has to die, though, first. So I'm not talking about in a physical sense. We don't want anyone to die. But it's just about something ending. And once that ending takes place, this union can come back into play. So there will be a reunion for some of you out there. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. This was a lot of fun to do. I hope the messages weren't too all over the place and crazy. But just let me know what you guys think in the comments if you enjoyed it. I'll be doing these probably at least once a month, because I think it's important for some of you that are in these situations to kind of check in with that situation, to see what's going on. And this is where your divine masculine is with the situation, as well as where he's at with you. So I think a lot of beautiful messages came through, challenging some, but most of them very beautiful. So thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.